I actually pretty strongly object to vlogging from home because this is supposed to be my and my roommate's space, but it's all I have today. So internet, welcome to our humble abode. Sorry about the weird lighting. So surprising nobody, I was a bookworm at a very young age. This is my Harry Potter charm bracelet. My family used to have a box of books in each of our cars for me to read because I would go through them so quickly. You know those summer reading programs that libraries used to have to get kids to read? I used to go through 3 of those every summer. And then I hit high school and then college, and due to a combination of adolescence, being new to time management, and having a lot going on, like most young bookworms, I completely stopped reading. I read for school, of course, and occasionally during winter and summer breaks, and when I happened to pick up a book I couldn't put down, and poetry because poetry goes quickly, but for the most part, my reading career was over. This, while a little bit sad, especially as someone who enjoys writing and reading and analysis and English literature, is completely normal. Shifting the story slightly, for the past 3 to 4 years, I have been dealing with various little mental health issues. Depression, anxiety, all culminating basically in feeling really disconnected from the world and especially the people around me. Y'all know that I really intensely love the world and I love people and I think it's all so beautiful. So for me especially, feeling that disconnect is really uncomfortable and super distressing. I'm learning to deal with it and I'm getting better, and at the moment I'm feeling really great, but a couple weeks ago I was not. I think with the newness of graduation and moving and being a new kind of adult and everything, after the rush of all those really exciting, wonderful things had worn off, dealing with it was really stressful, and I spent 3 weeks in a state that I'm gonna call crying, because I think more than feeling awful, I was just crying all the time. And in the middle of these weeks, I found myself in one moment sitting in a sofa chair that you can't see right there and crying as usual, and I picked up my phone and checked Twitter for a distraction, and I came across this Twitter thread. And while interesting and enlightening, this thread was more or less irrelevant to me. It was a description of the struggle of having to refill a very large prescription every month because pharmacies find that a little bit suspicious. But it was a really long thread and it took me a good 5 minutes to read it, and when I finished it and closed Twitter and looked up, I started crying again. But I realized that for these 5 minutes I was seeing life through someone else's eyes. I wasn't just distracted from my crying state, I felt connected to that person who had shared their story on Twitter. I already knew that reading, or maybe stories in general, due to their slowness and depth and openness to interpretation, are really great lessons in empathy. They're a wonderful way to be open to worlds and perspectives that are different from your own. But aside from this, aside from the learning and escapist aspects of it, I never considered that reading could actually be a healing action, that for me, who feels disconnected and trapped in her own head all the time, reading could be a way for me to feel connected and feel whole again. But in my crying state, I was, of course, willing to try anything. So I picked up Their Eyes Were Watching God, and when I put it down, I picked up Bossy Pants, and then Between the World and Me, and then Macbeth, and now I Captured the Castle, and I think I'm never gonna stop. Some people's writing is really so beautiful, and I'm seeing things from other people's perspectives and learning so much, and the slowness of reading in such a fast world is wonderful. Not only because of that, but probably because of that, I'm feeling so much better for the moment. So I hear that it's pretty normal to stop reading once you hit higher education, but it is also pretty normal to pick up again after you stop and then never stop for the rest of your life. And I think that's my plan. And I got my inspiration not from a book, but from a Twitter thread, so I don't even think it's about reading. I think it's about stories. We're so lucky to have so many. That's really all I got, and I'm about to run out of space on my phone, so I love you and I hope you're doing well. Bye.